All right, everyone, welcome back. In this video, we called 24 different real businesses and just cold called them out of nowhere, asking for work for our welding business, and it worked. So let's get into some results. So before we even get into that, real quick, the last video did really good. Um, we got 18 subscribers now. I think we had 6 in the last video, and that is so cool to me. I've only posted a few videos, and you guys are following along, and you're watching it, you're consuming it, you think it's cool, and you want to follow along too, and watch where this goes, and getting a lot of support in the comments and likes and stuff, and that makes me so happy, guys. This is so cool. And I'm so glad that other people are going to get to experience this with me because I love this kind of stuff. And it appears that you guys do too. So hopefully we're going to build this thing into something really big. I'm talking, new shop one day, employees stuff. And I feel like I'm going to take you guys along the entire ride and it's going to be super cool. But so let's get into today. I've already recorded this video once. I had to redo it all because I didn't like the camera angle and the lights were a little hazy for some reason. I had some like oil on my lens. So I just went ahead and we're just going to redo the whole video because why not? So let me show you what I got here. I got a lot of paperwork. Mind me. Not that, not that. Here we go. So this is the call list. This is 4 pages. Each page containing names, numbers, locations, notes, everything like that on some small businesses near me. So in here, I had lawn care, contractors, farms and agriculture, and trailer and equipment repair businesses, all separated individually. I had 24 businesses total. And let me give you some stats. The 2 main ones were the lawn care and the construction. Everything else was just kind of on a whim. Uh, Farmers don't really have phone numbers. Usually they're just like family farms, and if you don't know them, you're not going to get a number. And then I have some random ones like some old bosses and stuff like that. I'm still trying to reach out to. But let's get into this here quickly because I don't want to waste you guys' whole evening here or whatever it is you may be doing while you're watching this. But um, so I had 10 lawn care businesses. And I found these by just going on Google and searching lawn care near me. I don't know why I said that so weird. Lawn care near me. And, I scrolled through. And what I was looking for, what was qualifying them for, a spot on my list was small time. Um, Preferably, one guy doing it all the way to like maybe 5 at the max. Like I wasn't looking for big businesses because big businesses already have, contracts with much larger welding people than me. So, um, and really I wasn't selling anything. I'm just calling, not begging for work either, just saying, hey, this is me. This is what I'm offering. This is my pitch. Keep me in your radar next time something breaks. All I want is 3 months from now, riding down the road, doom, 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 uh-oh, something's wrong with the trailer. They pull over, say, oh man, it's broke. What are we going to do about this? Oh, I remember Deegan's Metalworks. That's all these calls are for is you want them to remember your name when something happens and you want to be on their radar. Um, so I had the 10 lawn cares here and I called all 10 of them back to back. Only 6 of them picked up, which is not bad. 60% pickup rate is really not that bad for this kind of thing, for especially for cold calls. Um, Now, out of those 6, I had 4 of them that are new contacts to me, and that is a place called Crohn's, Easy Care Lawn, um, Kearney's, and Huck, I think is how you say the name. Those 4 contacts were immediately like, yes, like you were just a guy I could have used you, in the past. I wish, you'd have been here longer. Next time something breaks, I will absolutely give you a call, stuff like that. And that is awesome. And when you're on these calls and cold calling for the first time, I was so nervous. Like I was literally shaking in the chair. I was like, couldn't even like come up with the words when they would ask me. I don't know why. It was so nerve wracking, and it was terrifying. I see why people don't like doing that. But so what I did here is I came up with a cold call script, and this wasn't a word for word script. This is just pretty much just kind of some pen notes that I wanted to run through every time I was on a call. Made sure I said everything that I wanted to say without saying too much and rambling. Um, so I was opening up, with how are you guys doing today? May I speak to somebody either in charge, the owner, or in charge of the equipment or something of that um, nature? And most of the time, they would be the owner. I think out of the 10 I called, I think 9 of them were the owner that I called. They're like me, they're just small time. One guy maybe have somebody helping, and somebody calls their personal number to, answer for their business. So, um, I started off and said, perfect, just a guy I'm looking for, just a woman I'm looking for, whoever. I said, let me start by saying I ain't selling you nothing, but this is what I got. I opened a small business um, local to you. I'm close by, and just started. I'm see. Look, this is why I made a damn script, because I can't even think of it in my head because I'm thinking 20,000 other things. But anyways, um, I said I'm reaching out to landscaping companies, see if you guys ever need welding and trailer work, equipment repairs, stuff like cracked mower decks, broken trailers, gates, brackets, custom trailer upgrades, leaf blower racks, weed eater holders, anything like that. And then I follow that up with a, have you ever ran into anything like that? And usually they think for a second, say, well, you know what? Yeah, I have actually, you know, 2 weeks ago, whatever. And then they go on a story about how they broke something 2 weeks ago and they had to get somebody else to fix it and all this. And it was a pain in the ass. I said, well, perfect. It sounds like we're going to work well together, um, because I think I'm going to be the necessity that you need there. When you break something, you can bring it straight to me, and I'm going to give you a competitive price and a turnaround time unlike anybody else around here's got. I can get stuff back to you next day, day after that. If it's really bad, maybe a week. A lot of these companies are, 2-3 weeks, if not months out. Like there's a big company around here. If you have a broken trailer, say, hey, you fix my trailer? Yeah, we can get to it, end of July. And you're like, well, damn, like, long turnaround times throw people off. So saying, hey, I'm going to be fast, I'm going to be effective, it's going to be good quality, and it's going to be competitive price. They can't argue with that. And you're going to be the first person they think of. So that was kind of what I was going for. So I told you the 4 of them sounded pretty interested. They sounded like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to call you back next time. Um, then 4 didn't answer. And then we had 2 that had possible jobs. We would call these hot leads, like today. So I just did this the other day. I haven't had time to follow up. I didn't rush anybody into. I'm not trying to strong arm people into work. I just want them to remember my name. So one of the guys, he didn't have anything broken, but he does have a boat, like a personal boat, and his trailer for it, he bent or broke a bracket on it or something. And he needed that fixed. I said, absolutely. I mean, that's going to be like a 1-day turnaround. Bring it on by when you're ready, but just send me a few pictures first so I know what I'm getting into, if I need to order material beforehand or whatnot. He said, all right, will do. He hasn't sent me that yet. I need to follow up with him. So these are these are hot leads, but they're not necessarily work yet. Not until it's scheduled, it's in the books, is it work. So, and it's really not work until it's here. But anyways, and then I had another guy, and I don't know if he's just been through, a similar thing and making his own business, but he really felt for the whole, new guy trying to, make his place in this world. So what he did is he went out and called all of his friends, and he found work for me. Um, and he sent me another guy who's got one of his enclosed trailers for all of his equipment where the floor is sagging, and that needed to be peeled off, and some new bracing in there, maybe a new cross member or two, maybe 50-60 bucks in material or something like that. It wouldn't be bad at all, and I can make 200-300 off of that job. So that right there, I definitely wanted to told him, when you get a chance, shoot me the stuff. And he said, look, he said, I want to get the wood off of it and stuff first so I can send you a picture of what I really got. I said, okay, that's fine. And I'm sure that's going to take him a week or two till he gets around to doing that, because that particular guy is open 7 days a week, so I know he's probably busy. But so it was 2 hot leads out of 10 calls and 6 that answered. So 20% of every time I dialed the phone, I got a job coming in. So then for construction contractors, I had seven businesses. Um, I called all 7, construction guys are a little more stubborn, a little harder to get a hold of. They're usually out and about doing stuff, and that was the case here because only three of them even picked up the phone. Out of the three, I had two that gave me, the spiel that the other guys, they were like, oh my gosh, like you're exactly what I've been looking for. I've needed somebody like that I can drop stuff off and come pick it up 2 days later and it's done and it's quick and it's efficient. Like that's what I've been needing. I'm like, perfect. I'm the guy for you. Bring it by. They said, sweet, I'll keep you in mind. Then I got another hot lead out of that. And that hot lead was the guy. Um, Turns out he lives and works like right over here. Like he's right beside me. Had no idea he was there. His sign is tiny on his building there. But he's definitely a lot bigger time than me. He's got his own, separate building for uh, his whole construction business there. They're more of like an erection place where they put up buildings and stuff like that. But he said, you know what? He said, you were so close to my shop. He said, that would be awesome. He was like, I can literally drop stuff off like in your driveway, drive 30 seconds back home, go to bed, 2 days later, come and pick it up and it's done. He was like, that would be so great. He was like, I'm sure I'll give you a lot of work. And I was like, that is awesome. And that was that. Then he called me back about 30 minutes later. He was like, you know what? Actually, he was like, something just came up, perfect opportunity for you. He said, I've got some cast iron that I need welded. Do you do that? Uh, no, but obviously, yeah, I do that. So I've never done that, but I know a guy who does. So if that actually happens and that comes through, I'm just going to call him to come do it, and I'm just going to subcontract him because I don't know how to do that. But um, yeah, bite off more than you can chew and figure out how to chew it. That's what they say. So told him, yeah, absolutely. Bring it by. We'll get it straight. And told him it'd probably be a little more expensive because cast iron is just slow. It's porous. It's dirty. It cracks. You got to preheat. It's a whole thing. I know how to do it. I just never done it. And I know it's a pain in the ass. So that's kind of what we told him. And hopefully that's going to come back through. Like I said, this hasn't been long since I made these calls, so I haven't had a lot of time for follow-ups. Now, on another note, out of these 24 people, I just skimmed through real quick the lawn care because that's really the only place that anything good happened. So out of 17 calls, we got 3 hot leads and 6, follow-ups, like warm leads, like, hey, yeah, we're gonna call you back eventually. And these are just people you want to build relationships with and stay close to, and you want to keep reminding them your name, calling back every once 2 weeks or so and just say, hey, I'm still here. Just keep me on your radar if anything comes up. Appreciate it. Keep it short, simple, sweet. So when something does come up, you're gonna be the first person they think of, and that's the idea. Um, believe it or not, I didn't think the sign had much exposure. But actually, a lot of these people, I bet you I had 4 people, one being the guy who lives right there, obviously, but 3 others that are not anywhere around here have seen my sign or heard of me in some sort of way already, and knew where I was. So that is a awesome sign. That means we are getting exposure somehow. I guess sign, Facebook, somebody knows somebody who knows them or whatever, but the name is growing out there. It's starting to become, something that's not new. It's like, oh yeah, Deegan's Metalworks over there. It's not, hey, there's some guy over here, starting to become more common and memorable, which is really good. That it's going to lead to a lot of good stuff. So yeah, super excited about that. Now, for the final thing that I want to get with you guys about is this is going to be hopefully the last video where I'm not actively up and doing something, and unfortunately not being able to entertain you like I would like to because we just don't have the work at the moment. It's still in the process. And YouTube has an algorithm where you need to post every so often, or it'll pretty much just forget about you and restart all of your progress. So what you want to do is post, once a week. And I'm trying to come up with a standard schedule for you guys, like every Wednesday or every Thursday or every Friday. But I was trying every Wednesday, but it's just not working. I just have too much stuff going on with all this, and my 9 to 5, and I got stuff on the side happening. It's just a lot. So it's really hard to be, you know, consistent, but I'm trying to at least post once a week for you guys. So you guys always have something to catch up to if you miss me for a week. And let me tell you about what's actually going to be happening in the next video. So Out of all those calls, all the hot leads and everything, we got a job. None of those though. So somebody driving by saw the sign. Um, they found me on Facebook. They searched up the sign name on Google, came up with the Google and the Facebook and everything. They went on to go to Facebook and they messaged me on Facebook and said, "Hey, do you do frame repairs on trucks?" Absolutely. Um, so I sure do. What do you got? And they sent me a few pictures and what kind of year, make, model truck it was. It was a 2014 GMC Sierra 1500, um, and it's 4 door with a short bed, and it is 8 up, and I do mean 8 up. It's really bad. So I was like, yeah, I can. I was like, now I've been completely honest with people. I'm like, look, a full on frame repair is 10 grand or so. Um, that is like, pull the body off, pull the suspension out, replace the frame like entirely, 10 grand. The average repair, which is, patching holes and fixing all the rust, deleting the rust, and then resealing everything is usually anywhere from 2 to 7 grand, somewhere in there. So I told them, hey, let's do for now, just as a price idea. I said, it's 8 up really bad. And let me flash a couple pictures of that so you can see what I'm talking about. And yeah, so as you can see, it's not great. That's a lot. That would definitely fall towards that, really bad side of that quote. So I told him 4 grand, and that's just off of the pictures. Let me, get it over here. Let's take a look at it in person. Let me dig around in it, and we'll just say around 4 grand. And what I've done is I've made a quote sheet, and at the bottom, it's not in fine print, it's pretty clear. And I'm going to state it, when he's here, because we're not doing anything greasy here. We're trying to be honest people. So basically, what I've told him is, 4 grand, but if I get into it and it's really bad and it's worse than I thought, that can be way more. It could go all the way up to 7. But I'm not just going to do that. I'm going to do, 4 grand worth of work and say, hey, look, it needs more. Um, do you want me to continue? It's going to be more expensive, and give them that option. That makes people very comfortable with your work, and makes them comfortable coming back and all sorts of stuff. It's a really good thing to do in this kind of work. And so that's what we're going to do. So we quoted them 4 grand for a repair. We're going to need to go buy a sandblaster, and which is going to be like 170 bucks, something like that, from Harbor Freight. And then we're going to need $15 bags of coal from, it's not like regular coal, it's for the sandblaster. I don't know what it's called, coal slag, I think. And it's about 15 bucks for a 50-pound bag at Tractor Supply. So we're going to go grab a couple of those, and hopefully I'm going to take this little air compressor I have, I'm going to run it out of the hole in the back there. I'm going to pull the truck around the backside of the garage, and then sandblast the shit out of it, because I'm not going to do it in here because that's going to make a mess. And that should be nice and clean by the time we're done. Might even try to take the bed off before, get somebody to come over here and help me take the bed off. That'll probably ease the pain and headache a little bit. But we'll see how it goes. He's coming over next Friday, which is what is that, like the third or fourth? Yeah, third or fourth next month. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. I've never done it. Just gonna go buy the shit to do it, and bite off more than I can chew and figure out how to chew it. So that's all for this one, guys. We're definitely gonna have a truck out back next video, and we'll start working on that and try to make some real money. And with that money, we can turn around and probably buy a pretty decent little pickup and start making a flatbed and start working on getting mobile. Um, that would be really cool. So, um, big things are happening, and it's happening fast. So if you guys want to follow along and join the other 18 of us, um, follow on along, hit that follow button, like, and yeah, hopefully here shortly. Uh, this is going to be something really big, and I'm hoping one day, in the near future, it's big enough to leave my 9 to 5 and do this full time. That's my dream, and we're going to try to make it happen. All it is a matter of time. So, like I said again, you know, follow along, and hopefully, uh, you guys will enjoy everything that's coming out and stick along and consume the content and enjoy it and give me tips and feedback. If you guys ever see anything that doesn't look right, you think I should do, you think I should change, let me know in the comments. I read everybody's comments. I read the name of every single subscriber I get. I'm very involved with my small community right now, and I love it. Love you guys to death. So, um, yeah, makes me super happy. Can't wipe the smile off my face just thinking about it. So, anyways, guys, let's get working on this truck next week, and I'll catch you then. Peace.